Hello, today I will be talking about this RC boat which I got recently and I liked it. I think it's worth buying. It's a 4D-S1 model manufactured by 4D company. I liked actually the way this RC boat glides above the water. It looks pretty cool, and when it moves in the water it looks really nice. It's a regular RC toy with a remote control. The switch of the boat is inside. It's done to avoid getting water on the switch. There are some downsides of the boat, which I will mention as well. I've already tested this boat in aggressive environment as usually, with waves. If you use this boat in calm waters, I don't think you'll have much problem, but when I use it in an aggressive environment like waves, water got inside of the boat and actually almost damaged the circuit board on this boat, and I'll show you how it happens as well. But let's talk about the boat in general in the beginning. The boat looks really nice. The design is really nice. It has some supports to avoid breaking the propellers. But on the other hand, the design is such that even if you put the boat on the floor, actually the propellers are kind of protected. So they won't break unless you lean on it. It's also good when you use this boat in water and it gets on the shore, for example, it would not hit the ground. So there is a cap which gives you access to the switch. To remove it, you need to move this part here and remove the cap. There is a switch here. When you turn it on, you get these lights blinking, which means the boat will be pending synchronization with the remote control. When you turn on the remote control, it will synchronize. Then you'll have to put the cap back and here you go, you're ready to use this boat in the water. The way it works, very easy. The remote control has sticks, which this one is used to go forward and backward. The backward movement doesn't work really well because the propellers are located in such a way that when it moves forward it leans a little bit, so the propellers get into water and then they have full throttle because they are fully in the water. But when it tries to go backwards, the boat doesn't lean, so the propellers don't get into water enough to be able to pull the boat with high speed, so it moves really slowly backwards. I'd say it's even too slow, and it doesn't allow you to really move your boat out of some obstacles. If it gets stuck on the shore, for example, the power will not be enough to move it backwards. But it's pretty good when it moves forward, and you'll see that in the test. When you want to move right or left, there are two options: just moving the stick to the right or to the left. Then only one of the propellers will move, but if you move forward and at the same time push the stick to the right, then one of the propellers will be still moving the boat forward and the other one will be moving with lower speed, so the boat will be turning but with less angle. So for example, you can notice it here, but one of the propellers moves slower and the boat turns slowly to the right or to the left. And when you just move to the right or to the left, the boat will go in circles. You will see that on the video as well. The boat also has LEDs. At night it should look really nice. Now let's talk about the problems of this boat. I've noticed that the water gets inside of the boat. I used it several times in waves. When you sail this boat in waves, water gets on top of the boat. I've noticed that this lock here is not sealed, so water gets inside from this lock. Also, I've noticed that there's no seal around the cap. It's just plastic, so for example, when you put it on the boat, it's just plastic trying to attach the plastic, and there's no gasket. That's why water gets inside. So if you sail this boat in calm waters, nothing would happen. But if you sail this boat in the waves, then water gets inside. Also, there's no gasket in between these two plastic parts, the top one and the lower one. And in one place, the top part of the casing connects with the bottom part of the casing here, even on a lower level. So when the boat inclines, I think also water gets into the boat through here. When you use this boat, from time to time you have to open the cap and see if there's too much water, because there is a circuit board that's located in a box, in a plastic box, and if water gets too high, it may get into the box. But the box normally is sealed. But in my case, there was a problem with this box as well. I will show it now. So when I say there's no gasket, let me show you what I mean. So I turn off the switch, and I've already removed the screws. There are some screws that you have to remove, really easy to do. And the top part of the casing goes off easily. If you look at these two parts of this casing, there's no gasket in between, and that's why the water may get inside. I would probably apply some silicone to avoid water getting inside. And when I talked about circuit board, I also removed some parts here. This is a circuit board. By the way, this is the regular lithium-ion battery. And I should say that the battery life is pretty long for this boat. I didn't have problems with running out of the battery while using this boat. Here is the circuit board, and it was in this plastic box. Normally you see some silicone here, but I've noticed that silicone was not well applied. So I got water in, and water got up to these elements here. After using this boat for several times, and I usually would remove water from the boat from time to time while using it, in the end the remote control stopped synchronizing with the boat. So what would happen is this LEDs would blink, and I would turn on the remote control. The remote control would blink this way, and normally when it synchronizes with the remote control, the LEDs should stop blinking and a white LED lamp should turn on, but it would never synchronize. So I thought that there was a problem in the end with the circuit board. I opened this box, removed the circuit board, and I saw that there was rust on some elements here. So in order to make it work again, I had to apply WD-40, spraying it really well to make the rust go away and any water that was below these elements away. And I was lucky to bring this boat back to life. If I would wait more time, maybe I would not be able to repair it. I disassembled the boat immediately after I saw that the remote control wasn't able to synchronize with the boat. That was important to do. Otherwise the rust would kill the elements. These things help a lot. Also, this thing should be used after each use of the boat, because you see there are metal pipes, and the metal rods come through these metal pipes up to the electrical motors. Water gets inside, and normally it shouldn't go inside of the boat, but just in case, I apply this oil a bit here to make sure the oil gets into the electrical motor. In case there's water or humidity, it would push the humidity out. And then I also apply some oil here so that oil gets inside of these pipes and minimizes the friction. I'm sure this part should not rust, but for example, if you use it in the sea, salt may get inside and create more friction, and the propellers may stop moving inside due to friction. So I apply also a bit of oil here, and then I turn on the electrical motors to make sure all parts rotate and the oil goes through all parts. So the problems of this boat can be easily solved just by applying silicone to this box that keeps circuits away from water, and put some silicone in between these casing parts so that water doesn't get inside. Anyways, you'll still have a problem with this cap, and in this case you would just watch your boat while playing. Just from time to time we'll have to open the cap and see if there's too much water inside. But the most important thing is to isolate the circuit from the water, and all other parts can be sprayed with oil from time to time, and there shouldn't be much problem. And again, this would be a problem if you use this boat in aggressive environments. If you use it in a lake where there are no waves, then you won't have much problem.